Hi everyone, thank you for joining the Primo February 2017 highlights. This is actually, we're starting now with the first release of this year. As every year we are going to have 4 quarterly releases. I think we are starting good with this February release with nice changes. Still we are focused on the new interface, mainly on closing the gap from the feature parity that we have from the classic interface, but we are adding also more new features that I'll be happy to show you today. We have much more planned for the coming year. I hope that in a week from now we are going to share with all of you the roadmap that is planned for 2017, spread to first and second half. So all of you will be able to see already what is planned and what are the great new features that are going to be added to Primo. So first release, and even though it is late, I will take the opportunity to wish you all a Happy New Year, if it will just work. Happy New Year. I really hope all of you will have a great year with your families, successful and health. And I hope that we'll have also a great year for the product. We'll see more improvements, more new features, more of the new interface, and I'm sure we're going to see more and more customers and libraries going live with the new interface and enjoying the flexibility and what it can offer. So let's see what is coming in February, which is going to be the rollout of February is starting on the coming Sunday, meaning January 22nd. This is when it's going to be installed on the Primo multi-tenant sandbox environments. 1 week afterward, it is going to be installed on the total care environments, week after multi-tenant production, and on February 12th, it's going to be available in the FTP server for download for on-premise customers. Before I go over this agenda and new features for February, I would like to focus on another track that we are having as an ongoing task in Primo in general, and what we did for February. And this is really the task force, we are calling it, which is really an ongoing task that we have to keep and improve the performance of Primo. We have weekly meetings to see every week what are the improvements, both for the server and for the client. Now we are focusing on the new interface, and I think that in February release you're going to see some big improvements, mostly with the new interface. What we did in this release is really we tried, now that we have a lot of customers already with the new interface and we can track the actual performance, it was easy for us to start and analyze. We did a lot of analyze here internally. We found some bug that we fixed. We found, I think this was the major change, we found bug with one of the components that we are using from Angular Material, which is a third party that we are using. There were memory leak that they couldn't fix, so we had to change the component that we are using in the interface. So we did some changes and changed some components. So actually we did a lot of changes to the infrastructure, I can say, of the interface itself. Most of them are not visible to the end user, besides the fact that things are much faster now. And we are now still verifying that customers that did customization are not going to be affected out of it, because it was a major change. In case we'll find things that were changed that might affect customization, we will obviously going to send already next week updates in order to verify that no one is going to be harmed from those performance improvements. I think one of the things that we focused in this performance improvement was to verify that really every action that the user performs is going to get an immediate response. Meaning if, for example, user is clicking on an item and sometimes it can take, let's say, half a second to open the full display, Now what we are trying to do is to verify that when user clicks on an item, first the page is going to open the full record. Some of the data might be loaded afterward, but the user is going to see things that happened in front of him. Meaning he performed an action, something happened. You don't need to wait. Another big improvement will be, and it's not something that we did specifically for Internet Explorer, but since those performances are pretty major, also Internet Explorer is working much better with the February release. So I'm sure that it's really noticeable, the changes, so I hope that all of you will enjoy the performance, but it's also important for me to say that it's not the final stage of the performance. Again, we keep with those weekly meetings, and we're probably going to do it forever. We want to verify that we are giving even better performance and that we keep improving. I think that till now we focus mainly on the client side in the new user interface in the last 3 months. Now we're probably going to do some more research in this area, but also to see things in the server side. We are using APIs in order to connect between the client side and the server, so to do some more tracking on those in order to see where we can improve those as well. So this is really, side track that we are keep working on. So it's not part of February and it's not part of May, it's part of every release. So now for those that are really for February. So let's start with the show source record. This is here just for you to have it afterward in the slides. This is the customization that you need in order to have the following functionality. Till now, Aleph Voyager customers could have added backlink to the ILS to see the record, the source record, either the MARC record or other sources. Alma customers couldn't do it, and now what we did is to allow all the users to go and get the record from Primo itself. Meaning you can add link to the links sections. As you can see here, the display source record, and clicking on it, going to open inside Primo the source record normalized. In this example, this is MARC record, but it can also be Dublin Core or any XML format source record. In case of dedupe record, what you're going to see is one record, source record after the other. Okay, so it's not just one that is chosen. It's all the records are going to be displayed in the same page that is open. The configuration for this, excuse me, is really basic. It's just adding the code table, the code that you would like to use, and adding the link to the link section in the view. So this is the show source record, which again available for everyone. Aleph Authentication, we keep improving the new authentication method. Once again, I'll repeat about the idea of the authentication method. The new authentication method, it's to allow connectivity between Primo and the authentication and with IDP without the need to have man in the middle, to have a proxy server in the middle, which is the PDS that we had till now. Till now, we supported SAML, LDAP. In the previous release, in November release, we added also CAS for Alma customers. Now we are adding the Aleph Authentication, meaning also that we support CAS with Aleph and any other combination with Aleph. I'm not going to get deeper into either the configuration of it. All the information is already available in the documentation center. But for those of you who wish to work with the Aleph Authentication with the new method, you are welcome to contact us via Salesforce, and the development team will be happy to help you to do it. It's also easy to do it. You can use it in the configuration, in the back office configuration, but we will be happy to work with the few first customers to do it, like we are doing with every other authentication method that we are adding. So this is for the Aleph Authentication. Next is small but nice option that we added for Leganto customers. Leganto customers can add, and they could have done it also before this development, a link in the main menu for Leganto. What we did here in February release in order to improve the Leganto and Primo working together is really we have a specific code for Leganto in the main menu. And for customers that are using Leganto code, it's going to be the reading list link is going to be available only for signed-in users. And once users are clicking on it, meaning they are signed in, and then they have my reading list button. If they click on it, they are going to go directly to their reading list, to the existing reading list. So this is small but nice feature that was added, and I hope it will improve Primo and Leganto working together. This is really just the first step. Now to the new UI. I'll start actually with this. So when we released the new interface, we presented the infinite scrolling navigation in the result set. There were a lot of discussions around it, whether it's right or wrong. Some are loving it, some hate it, and there were a lot of discussions around it. We said from then that we will add option for pagination as well. Now when we started to work on the pagination approach, we worked also with customers that we are working for accessibility and discussions that we have here internally and with customers, and we try to find solutions that allow us to have one navigation flow and not two different configurations, because this is really a basic thing in the system. We don't want to support two different navigation flows in this phase, and I'll show you in a few seconds what we came with. So we changed the idea of the infinite scrolling. We do have load more functionality, and we also added pagination. I think the main reasons to add the pagination was first accessibility. So we had solutions for accessibility also with infinite scrolling, but no matter how we tried and we added links and different ideas how to handle it, everything is not nature accessible. We need to have an explicit request to load more results or to switch to a page in order to be accessible. And also, talking about usability, users want to know where they are in their research, meaning if they perform a search and they know that they need to scan like the 3 next pages, they want to know that they ended the 2nd page, and if they want to continue tomorrow, they know exactly where to return to. So those are the main reasons to add the pagination, and it's totally clear the request that came from the customers, and I want to show you what we came with. I think I'll need to print it here. Oops. Okay. So here I search for earthquakes and explorations. You can see that, whoops, I hope no one's playing with my environment. Someone is playing with it. Let's try. Okay, so you can see that once I perform the search, first I have here the page number and the number of results that displayed. The number of results was before, but now we added also the page. If I'm scrolling down, instead of having an infinite scroll, meaning if I'll scroll down, I'll get more results automatically, I need explicitly to click on the Load More Results button. Now, loading more results, it's not changing the place, it's not replacing the results, it's loading more to the page. I can do it as many times as I want. And now, for example, I have 30 results on the page. Besides having this button of the Load More Results, we have here the pagination pane that's allowing me first to navigate within those 30 results. I can also load more results from here. Now I'm after the 3rd page, I can load more results. I can go to the back of the page, and I can also click here and go to specific page that I want. And then what is going to happen if I click on specific page, it's going to replace the result, and now I'm on page 5. So in mobile, what we are going to see is really we are going to have the load more results options without the pagination, this pagination pane. I think that once we'll see and talk with more users that are using it, we'll see how we can improve, or should we change it in the mobile, or having just the load more results is sufficient in this phase. So this is the pagination, and we can even say the navigation, the new navigation mechanism that we are presenting. Again, it's not configurable in this phase. Everyone that is going to be upgraded to February, this is the way the users are going to navigate with the page, with the results, sorry. So this was for the pagination. Now back to our features priority. The next feature that we are adding is really to support MetaLib search. What we did for MetaLib is for customers that had configured MetaLib within their view, what we did till now was to hide the tab and all the search scopes that are relevant to MetaLib. In this release, it is not hidden anymore, meaning customers with MetaLib don't need to go and change anything in the configuration. It is already there. We are just hide it till now. So now it's going to be visible, and they'll be able to see also remote search tabs, MetaLib search tabs or scopes. We have here the same functionality as we have today, meaning we are going and loading at the first search 30 results, and then we can go and fetch more results every time, meaning we are going to get more results from other databases. And you can see I have here, this is remote search, I have the information, and if I'll click fetch more results, I'm going to get 10 more results. And then, let's wait for it a second. The new item, actually the same as they are today, are going to be displayed as new items. Or not in this search. Maybe I'll try to fetch more results. I don't see that I got more results. And it's going to be, you'll have to believe me, there is a circle around the result, and a tooltip saying that this is a new result. Because, here, you can see here, because when we are fetching more results in MetaLib, we are getting 10 more results, and then we are resorting the results themselves. So this is one thing that we added for MetaLib, meaning the support for search within MetaLib databases. We also added the find databases. You can see it here, the same configuration as we have in the classic interface. What we did in this phase, we didn't rewrite the find databases page. In this phase, it's still the classic interface. We did some really minor changes, mainly for the buttons. And performing or selecting any database here, I can click on it and I can go and search, and then I'll be back on the result set and the new interface, obviously, of the result set. So in this phase, this is not yet redesigned. We will contact customers that are using MetaLib and consider how would be the right approach to do with the find databases. But this is what is available in the February release. Once again, no need to do anything in your configuration. If you have MetaLib, switching to the new UI, to the new UI URL, and you're going to see the MetaLib both in the results and the find databases, the same as you have today. So this is for the MetaLib, sorry. And the last feature that from the highlights of February is really the citation trail. I personally really like citation trail. I understand sometimes people, there are things that they find not perfect or like less in the citation trail, the fact that it's not metrics, but I still think that it's really giving users a lot more to explore, a lot more information. It's not metrics, it's not coming in order to give you the full citation of an article, but for the users themselves, it gives more information and more exploration options to get more results that are really relevant for their search. So I think that with the new interface, we are really leveraging this feature even more. I think this is what we had in our mind when we thought of citation trail, really the idea of presenting the breadcrumbs, the trail, the path that the users are building to themselves, and I hope that we will keep and leverage it in the future, for example, allowing users to save paths that they are creating. So if I'm going here, I perform the search, and now I'm going to one of the results and find this result really relevant to my research about chocolate and health, which obviously combine together perfectly. And I have a new service, which is called Citation. And here I can have two kinds of buttons. I have cited in this, and I have also cites this. So in this case, I have only cited in this article. If I'm going to click on it, I'm actually starting a new flow of navigation. So you can see that I no longer have the search box here, because now I'm in the citation path feature, and I see the item that I came from, the seed article that I came from, and those are articles that's cited in my article. And now I can also see already in the brief results the icons of the cited and the cited in. If I keep clicking on it, I'm going to get more and more results, and you can see that every record that I'm interested in is getting into my path. I can obviously go back to specific step that I performed before and see the items and add and keep adding more items. I can go to the full record of an item. And also, this is what I said before, but you can see that already everything here is presented in the URL, meaning if I'm going to copy the URL, it is a permalink that I can save in my bookmark, and I can go back afterward and see the path that I built to myself. In the future, we want to add those paths into the favorites of the users, and then they'll be able to go back and see paths that they created to themselves. So this is what we did for the citation path. I can add more and more items. For mobile, it's going to be like a carousel that they can go, there are arrows that they can navigate. So it is supported also in mobile, obviously. And once again, no need to change anything in your configuration. It is out of the box, it's enabled, and it's there once you are upgraded to February. So this is for the citation trail. And those, I think, the main features that we are presenting in February. Once again, I think that beside the features, you'll see major improvement in performance. Also, we keep working really hard on accessibility. And we are working both with customers, and now we're starting to work also with an external company in order to verify that we keep improving the accessibility of the system. We did a lot of improvement in February, mainly to the result list, mainly for the navigation, fix the labels of the area labels, the focus of the elements. So we keep working on those in this track also, and obviously, once again, this is not the final stage. It's something that we are going to keep working with every release. So this is for February. And just short update about May release, things that are planned for May. And this is really just partial list. We're going to add the export to BibTeX. This is going to be for classic interface and the new interface. We are going to add the tags. The tags are going to be added to multi-tenant environment, both for the classic interface, meaning customers that are working with the classic interface and are on multi-tenant, they are now going to have tags. As for the feature parity, we are going to add the browse, the journal A to Z, and the citation linker, and much more time cited, and there are more features. I really try to update as much as I can the Knowledge Center, the frequently asked questions section. There is a slide with the planned features for the new interface. So I try to keep it updated. It was updated a few days ago, so every change will be reflected there. So I see that I have a question. Any idea when adding citation path to favorites will appear? Will it be May release or August or later? No, it's not planned for May release. It might be for August, but I don't want to commit on it yet. But I'm happy that you are asking because it sounds like you find it's a nice feature. So you have plenty of time now for questions or comments, which are always welcome. And obviously, if not as part of this session, you are welcome to contact me afterwards via email, and I'll be happy to answer. When will export to Mendeley be available? August release. Is there any news on changes to the Primo back office being shifted to Alma? No, it is a big thing that the Primo back office is shifted to Alma. It's a side project that we have in order really to optimize the back office functionality for Alma and Primo customers. We are not taking the Primo back office and putting it in Alma. It's relevant only to Alma customers, and this is really in the first phases. We will keep you updated once we'll have more to share. We are working with development partner in order to see what is the right way to do it. But it's not where the idea is not to take the back office and shift to Alma. When will the timeline for future Primo releases be announced? Next week, we are going to share the Primo roadmap. I think the first or the second slide is the timeline for the next releases. Maybe I have it open now. I can share it with you now if you're interested. Just a second. So those are the next releases: January 22nd, then April 30, July 23rd, and November 5th. Those are the next releases for 2017. And again, you're going to have this presentation next week. We're just doing the final list adjustments. So if you don't have more questions now, again, you're welcome to send it to me afterwards. I wish you all a nice weekend and really great new year. And I hope a wonderful February release. Thank you very much.